Hello, welcome to this tutorial, which is part 2 following the introduction to part 1. And as promised, I said I would look at the question I was referring to at the end of part 1, look at it again and show you how to find the coordinates of various points on the diagram. Well, if you remember, this was a 6 by 6 cube. That's 6, and that's 6. And we discussed this particular point here, one of them. And you can see you go along the x direction, the x-axis, 6 units. You're not going that way, nor are you going up. So it's x equals to 6, y equals to 0, and z equals to 0. What about this point here at the bottom? Well, we're not going in that direction. We're only going along the y-axis 6 units. We're not going up. So it's 0, 6, 0. Are you happy with that? I hope so. Next point I'd like to take is this one here. We're going from the origin, we're not going that way, no parallel to the x-axis or along the y-axis rather, we're just going straight up. So x is 0, y is 0, z is 6, and here are the values. Okay? Now let's consider this point here. This point is in the xy plane. It's like the floor of your room. You come 6 along the x-axis and you go 6 units parallel to the y-axis. You're not going up. So x is 6, y is 6, and z is 0. Okay? Now, let's see if you can have a go at this one. What about this one here? Which plane is it in? Well, it's in the YZ plane. So from the origin, you would not be going along the x-axis, you'd be going 6 units along the y-axis and 6 units parallel to the z-axis. So it would be 0, 6, 6. You happy with that? Okay. What about this point here? Have I just been through that? It's 6, none along that way, and 6 up. 6, 0, 6. If I have been through it, I apologize. What about this point here? Well, from the origin, you're becoming 6 along the x-axis, 6 parallel to the y-axis, and 6 parallel to the z-axis. So 6, 6, 6. Okay? Good. Now, what about this point here at the bottom? Well, it's the midpoint of the line joining those two. It's a square. So you'd come 3 along here. How far along the parallel to the y-axis? Well, it's 3. Do we go up? The answer is no. It's in the xy plane. So it's 3 for x, 3 for y, and 0 for z. 3, 3, 0. And there it is. What about this point here? It's the midpoint of the line joining those 2 points. Well, you come 6 that way, x value 6. How far along the y-axis or parallel to the y-axis? Well, it's 3, it's halfway. And then you're going to go up 3. So it's 6, 3, 3. Okay? This point here is the midpoint of the line joining the origin to this point up here. Well, you got some idea? It's 3 along the x-axis, 3 parallel to the y-axis, and 3 parallel to the z-axis. So it's 3, 3, 3. In another tutorial, I will show you how to do this if you just have the points written down, the coordinates down. You can work out the midpoint just like you would do in 2 dimension. There's time, I'll mention it. Okay. Now, to help you see all that, I have already done something to the diagram, which I hid, and here it is. So I've built in another 3 by 3 cube to show you that if you wanted to come to this point here, if you remember, that was 3, 3, 3. You'd come 3 along the x-axis, 3 parallel to the y-axis, and 3 units up. Okay? I hope that helps to see it. And if you wanted to come to this point here, you come 3 along the x-axis, 3 parallel to the y-axis, but you don't go up to that point there. Okay? Now, here's what I suggest you do. Just for a second or two, can you think about what the coordinates of this point will be? That's the midpoint of the line joining that point to the origin. Which plane is it in? Well, it's in the YZ plane, that side wall there. So you would not be coming along here at all. You'll be going 3 units along the y-axis and 3 units parallel to the z-axis. So it would be 0, 3, 3. Okay? Now, what I suggest you do is, I've put this on a diagram and label the points for you. The question is asking you to write down the coordinates of the points labeled in the diagram below, and you're told that T is 6, 6, 6, the large cube is a 6 by 6 by 6, the smaller one is a 3 by 3 by 3, and you don't worry about the origin, is 0, 0, 0, we know that already, but pause the video, write down the coordinates of these points that I've labeled. R is that one there, that's A, that's U, and then come back and check your answer, because I'm about to reveal them now. And here they are. So how did you do? Well, you can pause the video again and check your answers and see if they're correct. Well, I hope you did well, and I hope this is helping you to identify coordinates in 3 dimension. I'd just like to go back for a second to the first diagram, and this diagonal here, I told you was the longest diagonal. There are others as well. Okay, I've just removed that 3 by 3 by 3 cube, and what I'm looking at is the original diagram we had. That's the one of the longest diagonal. So is that one from there to there. So is that one from there to there. So is that one from there to there. And at some point I'll try and apply some Pythagoras in 3D and maybe trigonometry at some point, but it'll be a while before that happens. Okay, so that's the question you had, and these are the answers. Well, I hope you found that useful. In the next one, I'll look again at another 3D question, but this time a cuboid, so the sides are not all equal. It's not a cube. Okay, until then, take care. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope you found it useful.